right, welcome back to Speak for Yourself, the most fearless show in sports. Jason Whitlock, Marcellus Wiley, joined again by Mark Schlereth and Bucky Brooks. Time now for the most fearless discussion of the day. All right, let's return again to the symbol formerly known as Colin Kaepernick and Cap's Life Matter movement. Kaepernick lawyer Mark Gergeros told the Adam Carolla show on Tuesday that two teams have shown an interest in the silent symbol. Gergeros predicted that something will happen within the next 10 days. Gergeros said, there are two teams that I think are in the hunt. One who is legitimately in need of a quarterback who had a very poor showing on Sunday and has got an owner that I don't think gives a spit. Okay, let's keep in mind that Gergeros has made these proclamations before. Once every couple of months, Gergeros claims some team will sign Cap within a set time frame. So far, Gergeros has been wrong. But let's play along here. Let's assume he's talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are currently quarterbacked by the human interception machine, famous Jameis Winston. Jameis tossed 4 interceptions in a loss to the Saints on Sunday. Winston leads the NFL with 18 picks. Winston, the #1 overall pick in 2015, is done in Tampa and maybe in the NFL as a starter after this season. The 3-7 Buccaneers are led by the wokest coach in the NFL. Bruce Arians, brother Bruce, has named 2 women to his coaching staff and would love nothing more than to serve as football's Angelo Dundee to Muhammad Ali. Coaching an NFL game in a signature Colin Kaepernick designed Kunta Kinte t-shirt would complete brother Bruce's woke resume. Can't you see Bruce signaling in plays to Kaepernick with a glove-closed fist in the air? A move to sign Kaepernick would ensure Arians' induction into the Woke Hall of Fame in Silicon Valley alongside other first-ballot inductees, Steve Kerr, Greg Popovich, and Marcellus's best friend, Max Kellerman.
Oh, man.
Any team that signs Kaepernick in the aftermath of his Atlanta circus is far more interested in a political statement than a football one. At this point, support for Cap is a sign of pity, and pity is an emotion people shower on those they deem inferior. All right, guys. Marcellus, get us rolling. Should Bruce Arians and the Bucs be interested in Colin Kaepernick?
No. Let me be narrowly focused, and we can go farther than that if necessary. As woke as Bruce Arians is, he still hires black coordinators that are capable. Byron Leftwich, Steve Wilkes. Like, capability is part of that equation, not just I'm so woke that I'm just going to go this way without thinking about can they do the job. And unfortunately, watching Colin Kaepernick in that workout, I don't think he can do the job. Let me preface this by saying I gave him a B- grade and try to factor in all things considered. When I was growing up and in school, that was a C+. That's where I think this performance was, because it was on air with no adverse conditions, no pass rush, no reading coverages, not multiple routes and progressions. This was just a guy who was throwing the ball on air. And everyone here has been around an NFL practice, a 7-on-7, any retired quarterback on air. It is laser tag. They will dart you to destruction in on-air practice sessions. When I see this, I'm grading it on that in terms of reference. And I didn't see amazing accuracy. I saw amazing arm strength, and I saw accuracy issues. He made some good throws, made some horrible throws. But more times than not, it was off-ball placement. So where does he land with the Buccaneers? Jameis Winston's gone. Let's just be real about that. And then in your backup is a 7th-year player, right? Griffin never got on the field ever in New Orleans or Tampa Bay. So is this going to be your starter, Colin Kaepernick? Or is he going to be your backup in terms of how he's going to fit in your organization? I don't see where he lands at the Tampa Bay Bucs.
No, look, man, Bruce Arians is one of the more progressive coaches in the National Football League, maybe the most progressive. 3 African-American coordinators, offense, defense, and special teams. You never seen that. You alluded to the fact that he has 2 women on his coaching staff. That said, Colin Kaepernick is not a fit for what Bruce Arians does. Bruce Arians likes to push the ball down the field. Kaepernick can throw it vertically, but he's not a guy that is a traditional pocket passer that can play and thrive in this system. I think, yeah, you can try and check off the boxes and say, like, Bruce Arians is maybe black-friendly when it comes to hiring coaches, but just because he is progressive in that vein doesn't mean that Colin Kaepernick is the fit. I don't believe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have serious interest in signing him.
All right, so here's one. it is disingenuous and disrespectful to the game for the agent of Colin Kaepernick to think or the lawyer, for him to think after 3 years away from the game that he's going to come in and play this year. I am sorry. Listen, you throw some balls on there. Nobody ever questioned the arm talent. The arm talent is elite. I know a lot of guys with elite arm talent in baseball that can't throw strikes. You know where they are? Out of baseball.
Yeah.
So the arm talent has never been a question. If somebody wants to sign him to a futures deal for next year and look at the league and the way the league is changing, the way the league is opting back into running the football and what Lamar is doing in Baltimore, then I would say, okay, that makes sense to me. But if you think you're going to come in and run a traditional offense with Colin Kaepernick right now, who hasn't played in 3 years, he hasn't played in organized football. I don't care how many burpees and sit-ups and how many box jumps you do. You cannot play. It's disrespectful to the game. And so, like, if you're going to sign a futures contract, great. But that's hyperbole. That's garbage to sit there and say, hey, some team is thinking about signing him now. And for anybody who thinks is like, Colin Kaepernick could come in right now and do, you guys are crazy. You know what it's like to get hit after you haven't hit for a while? Like, how about that constant headache and that constant neck ache the first day of training camp when you came back and put helmets on and started hitting each other again? You're walking around like this. Hey, how you doing? Hey, good. Everybody get over there? Like, you got brain swell going on. Stop. Like, you're going to come in and have him play right now.
I didn't like the whole thing because there was a lack of self-awareness, or it was a circus for people that don't understand football. If Colin Kaepernick were serious about playing football again, he would have run a 40-yard dash because again, he would have shown I can still run the football because that's part of his skill set. He didn't do that. Obviously, the Kunta Kinte shirt and all the other things. And so I think Gagueros is just another guy that wants Colin Kaepernick to play football more than Colin Kaepernick actually wants to play football.
Look, Garagos is clout chasing. Anytime you're in a conversation with the biggest sport in our country, it's naturally going to keep this alive in terms of sensationalism, martyrdom, and all the things that Cap is able to capitalize why he's not a football player. Let's just be real about this. The whole situation was a shoehorn, which I believe came from the settlement. That's why Kaepernick had to take it, and that's why Kaepernick didn't really complain outwardly. But Kaepernick came to a realization that, look, either I go over there and I die, they're going to let me go and perform, and that's not what I want ideally, and that doesn't support my narrative of martyrdom, or I go do my own thing to the tune of now he's saying I want to have another workout at the next owners meeting when they're all in town. Like, that matters. So I could go hours on why this is just all a scam, but I'm going to let you guys understand one thing. Colin Kaepernick, last time on the football field 3 years ago, to your point, Mark, had a lot of empty calorie stats. They were 1 in 10 when he was a starter. You know what that means? You're losing a lot of games. Know what that means? You're behind. Know what that means? 2 people are going to pad their stats. The quarterback of the losing team and the defensive line on the other team. Because we know what's coming, and we're in prevent. Add them yards up. Throw that touchdown. Y'all down 20. Y'all down 10. Like, whatever it may be. So I just seen too many retired guys that look better in air workouts than this. And like you said, the physicality of the game, once removed, it's difficult to come back to that. But this doesn't indicate, nothing jumps off the video screen that says he needs to be in the league right now.
Now, I think the biggest thing when it comes to signing a backup quarterback is the backup quarterback has to understand his role. And look, I've been one that has supported Cap and said that, look, he's better than guys that we're seeing on current rosters. However, the backup quarterback has to be quiet. He has to support the starting quarterback. He has to understand his role. When we talk about team, we always talk about we, not me. The thing that took place on Saturday, that was a me thing. I don't know how any decision maker, coach, could sign off on, hey, this guy's going to come in and he's going to be a part of the team. Because everything that he talked about was me-centric. It wasn't about, I want an opportunity to come in and help a team win. It was all about, when are you going to come and get me? We're ready, you're running, all of that stuff. At some point, you have to humble yourself so you can get an opportunity to get back in the league. And he hasn't done it to the point where a team will openly sign him to a contract?
Well, humility doesn't fit the narrative. So obviously, look, the guy is sitting there with two propositions. One, I can get back in the league, kill it, and then all of a sudden I'm bigger than ever. Or I can die on this sword, jump out of this building, yelling, "It's for the people!" And then guess what? That gets me martyrdom and forever iconic status. So a backup quarterback has a different mindset and a different position in the organization. The starters hit the gas and go as far as you can, be as great as you can. Backups, hit the gas until you run into the starter and then pump your brakes. Can you pump your brakes with this mentality? Hell no. So the NFL is guilty of one thing. In the settlement, understanding that we got to give this guy another opportunity. But NFL, you could have gave him enough runway where it seemed, at least in perception, that it was an adequate opportunity. But instead, NFL waited to the midnight hour. Hey, see you Saturday. Take it or leave it. You got 2 hours to tell us. Because it was already agreed upon. Yeah, why didn't Cap throw a spasm in? You know why? Because he's like, damn, this is what I asked for. But I ain't asked for it like this. So then they started to lawyer it up and try to jump out the building, and that's what we saw.
Yeah, well, I will tell you this. You look at that whole workout, they still did something for him that they've done for no other person.
Mm-hmm. True, true.
And
tried to. They certainly tried to.
Tried to. And so the NFL was here long before Colin Kaepernick. It's a $14 billion a year industry for a reason. Mm-hmm. It will be here long after Colin Kaepernick's gone. And the bottom line to me is I understand, you know, the golden rule. They have the gold, so they make the rules. That's the way the NFL works. And I still also understand it was a privilege to be a part of it. And I had to make some sacrifices to make that happen, and he's going to have to do the same.
Let me say one more thing to Big Dog. Hey, man, the NFL ain't running from you, man. They just going to walk right by you. And that's the killer. When you realize this game is bigger than all of us, even as a sum. Just put yourself in the right mindset and apply your skills and talents appropriately. If he doesn't do that, he won't get a shot.
All right, coming up.